Shalom, shalom, Wabarakatham. It's because it's be y'all brother, man, the Elder Radazan, man, from the disciples of the mountains of Israel. Y'all see what it is, man. And I'm back. I'm back at y'all, man, to bring some more knowledge of this truth, man. You know, this thing we call the Bible, man, who so many people have erroneously, taken to mean something else when it means something else. In other words, it's a Hebrew book, man. It's not a Christianity book. It's not a book that teaches Christianity because, Christianity, as we know, it doesn't teach what the book say. But, we're going to kind of shift gears today. I'm not going to, continue to, hark on this Christianity, this false Christianity. What I want to touch on is these false people calling themselves Jews. And we're gonna be doing a little history today. Of course, we gotta have the scripts. It never goes without the script because the script is what we founded everything on. It's what we gauge everything on. It's what we use to determine if something is so or not, right? So without further ado, I'm gonna say Kal Halal Yahweh by Shem Hamashiach Yahweh Shah. And that's our praise to the Father, and we do so in the name of the beloved Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, whose proper name is Yahweh Shah. So without further ado, let's jump right in. I'm gonna be coming from two books with y'all today, man. I'm gonna be coming from this one called Arthur Koestler, The 13th Tribe. And I'm gonna be coming from book one of this series I have called The Prophecies, the book of the Hebrew Israelites, right? And this is book one. This boy here forward to is full of it. And what we're gonna be dealing with today is this Balfour Declaration. We're gonna go back to where it all started. Yes, where it all started, then we're gonna kind of, jump up a little bit in time and we're gonna deal with this Balfour Declaration. I'm gonna read this letter to y'all so y'all can see who actually initiated this thing, who orchestrated it, and who they really are. And I'm just gonna use one word for right now, and that's Zionists. These were your Zionist people, right? But anyway, without further ado, man, let's go to this Arthur Koestler, man. And I'm just gonna read to y'all from chapter 8, and it's called Race and Myth, right? Now, this guy, Arthur Koestler, he's one of them. He's from the bloodline of Japheth, Ashkenaz. So let's read what he say because, he should know better than anybody about his own. Anyway, without further ado, let's go. And this is chapter 8, Race and Myth in the 13th Tribe by Arthur Koestler, right? Say the Jews of our time fall into two main divisions, Sephardim and Ashkenazim, right? Okay, Sephardim are the descendants of the Jews who since antiquity had lived in Spain. In Hebrew, it would be Sepharad or Sepharad until they were expelled at the end of the 15th century and settled in the countries bordering the Mediterranean, the Balkans, and to a lesser extent in Western Europe. Now, before we go any further, let me tell you also where they went. They were sent to the west coast of Africa. Actually, the bulk of them were sent to the west coast of Africa, specifically a little island called Sao Tome or Saint Thomas, right? And these were black Jews, what we would call black Jews. 40. They were expelled from Spain. I think that was in 1491, somewhere, maybe a decade or two before. I don't know, but we can easily look that up. That's not really a major issue here, you know what I'm saying? Because right now, we kind of not, we're dealing with time and dates, but what I'm saying, the exact and precise time of this expelling, is kind of not important right now. But we're going to get it, though, to be right and exact. So let's continue on. Paragraph 2 would say the Sephardim are the descendants of the Jews who since antiquity had lived in Spain. until they were expelled at the end of the 15th century and settled in the countries bordering on the Mediterranean, the Balkans, and to a lesser extent in Western Europe. It goes on to say they spoke a Spanish Hebrew dialect, Ladino, that's spelled Ladino, right? It say, and preserved their own traditions and religious rites. In the 1960s, the number of Sephardim was estimated at 500,000. Of course, we know it's more, right? It say the Ashkenazim at the same period numbered about 11 million. Thus, in common parlance, Jew is practically synonymous with Ashkenazi Jew. Now, keep in mind, this who these people over there say they are, right? That's where they come from, Ashkenazi, specifically the Khazars. They come from the Empire of Khazaria, right? Anyway, it goes on and say, uh, but the term is misleading, which it really is. And one of my takes on why it being misleading because Ashkenaz is the son of Gomer, and we know Gomer was the son of Japheth. Japheth and Shem was two brothers, right? And these were two of Noah's sons. He had three. He had Japheth, Shem, and Japheth. Salaki. He had Japheth, Shem, and Ham. Ham was the youngest, but I think Japheth was the oldest. But anyway, that kind of don't matter. Just keep in mind that the Khazars, the Ashkenazi, they come from Gomer's son, who was Japheth's son, Ashkenaz, right? It goes on, it reads. That's what's confusing. How could you be from the bloodline of Shem, but you claim the bloodline of Ashkenaz, who comes from the bloodline of Japheth? It don't make sense. It's because it's a lie, right? It goes on and say, but the term is misleading, for the Hebrew word Ashkenaz was, in medieval rabbinical literature, applied to German. And it's where they went when you read Genesis 10, right? Go on, it says, thus, contributing to the legend that modern Jewry originated on the Rhine, which is a lie. Say there is, however, no other term to refer to the non-Sephardic majority of contemporary Jewry. For the sake of the Peguantry, it's spelled Piquantry, it should be mentioned that the Ashkenaz of the Bible refers to a people living somewhere in the vicinity of Mount Ararat and Armenia. The name occurs in Genesis 10, chapter 3, and 1 Chronicles 1 and 6. They say, as one of the sons of Gomer, who was a son of Japheth. Ashkenaz is also a brother of Tobamar, right? And a nephew of Magog, who the Khazars, according to King Joseph, claim as their ancestor. But worse was to come. The Ashkenaz is also named in Jeremiah 51 and 27, where the prophet calls his people and their allies to rise and destroy Babylon. Say, call thee upon the kingdom of Ararat, many, and Ashkenaz, right? Many will be Armenia, right? And say, this passage was interpreted by the famous Sa'adiah Gaon, spiritual leader of the Oriental Jewry in the 10th century, as a prophecy relating to his own times. Babylon symbolized the caliphate of Baghdad, and the Ashkenaz who were to attack it were either the Khazars themselves or some allied tribe. Accordingly, says Poliak, some learned Khazar Jews who heard of the Gaon's ingenuous arguments called themselves Ashkenazim when they immigrated to Poland, right? Say it does not prove anything, but it adds to the confusion. That's right. I mean, how these people gonna call themselves a Jew of any kind, and they're not even from that bloodline? That's because they're identity thieves. The Bible, Hamashiach, and everything says who they are. And we'll get to that, Most High willing. Let's keep reading, right? All right, summing up a very old and bitter controversy is a laconic paragraph. Raphael Patai wrote. He wrote the following. He says, the findings of physical anthropology shows that, contrary to popular view, there is no Jewish race. Anthropometric measurements of Jewish groups in many parts of the world indicate that they differ greatly from one another with respect to all the important physical characteristics: stature, weight, skin color, cephalic index, facial index, blood groups, etc. So that's it on that. We're gonna go into this other one. So these people here, they don't even fit the genotype of the Israelites, the Jews, of antiquity, because these people are not from this bloodline, man. They're really not. So now we finna kind of go up a couple of decades, couple of 100 years, right? And we're gonna be going to November the 2nd, uh, 1917, when this Balfour ladder was introduced. Now, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna share this here on screen with y'all, right? So let's go get this real quick. All right, and where we gonna be going, people? We gonna be going to my library. Okay. Hopefully y'all can see this, right? Okay, this is the typed up version, right? It say His Majesty's government view with favor the establishment in Palestine of a national home for the Jewish people. Of course, we know ish means to be like something, to pertain to something. Like we always break down, if I say you acting all girlish and stuff, are you really a girl? No, but you acting girl-ish, like a girl. Right? So these people acting like Jews, right? To say, and will use their best endeavors to facilitate the achievement of this object. It being clearly understood that nothing shall be done which may prejudice the civil and religious rights of existing non-Jewish communities in Palestine, or the rights and political status enjoyed by Jews in other countries. Now, this was created November 2nd, 1917, and was in the British Library, and these are the authors of it. Walter Rothschild, this is the richest family on the planet, right? Arthur Balfour, the man that letter is named after, Leo Amory and Lord Milner. All right, the signatories, Arthur James Balfour, confirming support for the British government of the establishment of Palestine of a national home for Jewish people with two conditions. And of course, so really, just this alone refutes the fact that, you know, all this stuff was made up. Straight up. Now what we gonna go get? We're gonna go to Wikipedia and we're gonna look all this up. All right, check this out. This from Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia. A lot of people say this is not a reliable source, but if you go and you really go into Wikipedia, it'll let you know what's reliable and what's not, right? So of course, this right here outlines, what all took place and so on and so forth. But I'm not going to read all that. But this is what I want to go over here and read for y'all, the actual letter itself as it was typed up, right? And it reads, and this, of course, we know this to the Foreign Office of November 2nd, 1917, right? It say, Dear Lord Rothschild, I have much pleasure. Now, this is what I just read in the typed up version, but I'm letting y'all see that this ain't something I'm making up, right? Say, Dear Lord Rothschild, I have much pleasure in conveying to you, on behalf of His Majesty's government, the following declaration of sympathy. Wow. With Jewish Zionist aspirations. He told he was Zionists, man, which has been submitted to and approved by the cabinet. His Majesty's government viewed with favor the establishment in Palestine of a national home for the Jewish people, and will use their best endeavors to facilitate the achievement of this object, it being clearly understood that nothing shall be done with which may prejudice the civil and religious rights of existing non-Jewish communities in Palestine, or the rights and political status enjoyed by Jews in any other country. I should be grateful if you would bring this declaration to the knowledge of the Zionist Federation. So as we can see, man, these people were Zionists, man. These people wasn't even from the bloodline of Shem. Yet alone, how can anybody be anti-Semitic to them? Because anti-Semitic means you're against anybody that has Semitic blood, that's of Shem. you're against them. And these people are not of the bloodline of Shem. So, all that, you being anti-Semitic, that's the cop out, the cover up, the overplay for the underplay. You know what I'm saying? So any of y'all that they went and apologized to these people, you know what I'm saying, for their allegations, accusing you of being anti-Semitic, say, man, you really need to go do a little bit more research, you know what I'm saying? And you will see that it's impossible for anybody that's of Semitic blood, you know what I'm saying, of the Semitic bloodline to be anti-Semitic. That means you're against yourself. And see, and this is what the brother Kyrie Irving meant when he say, how could I be against myself? I know who I am. So right then and there, he was saying, without saying, them people ain't the real Jew. They not anti-Semitic. But still, he broke under that pressure and did what he did, and we can't judge him on that. He got his reasons, we don't know why. We can only assume and speculate why, and a lot of us have a tendency to judge and say the brother caved in and what have you. Maybe he did, maybe he did. That's not for me to decide. But anyway, we're gonna go get some scripts, man. And of course, we're gonna go see what Hamashiach said about the gathering, because see, they try to say that this one, the Most High gathered his people and took them back home because prophets state that this is gonna happen, right? But that wasn't the prophecy that that's going to happen, because we know according to prophecy, that land will be downtrodden by the Gentiles until their time be fulfilled. And we know the fulfillment of their time is now, and when Christ returned. When Christ returned, that means all the kingdoms, all the thrones and leadership or whatever of the world, that's and all that stuff. Because the real king will be on the planet. You know what I'm saying? Ain't gonna be no such thing, the United States or Europe or none of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? The planet is being taken back and given to its rightful owners. And at this moment is when when the Israelites will be gathered and taken back to their own land. Not only that, those people, they'll tell you that they're from the tribe of Judah, right? They will also tell you that like I was just saying, that the Most High to gather them up and put them back in their own land. Well, okay, let's ask this question right here. First of all, the gap is other things that have to take place before the gathering, and that's the awakening, right? Okay, and then after the gathering, after the gathering, then we'll be placed, back into the land and so on and so forth, right? Okay, so if these people have been gathered and placed back into the land that's supposed to be theirs, where are the other 11 tribes? Because, let them tell that they're only Judah. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Someone say they Levi, right? Okay, if Judah and Levi has been gathered, what happened to the other tribes, man? What happened to Naphtali and Gad and Asher and Simeon and all these people, all the other tribes? Where they at? See, just that little question right there alone, man, shoot holes in the boy's ship, right? But let's go on though. We gonna let Christ talk, man. Let's go to Luke, man. First, we're gonna go to Matthew 24. And we're gonna start at verse 1, man. We're gonna go through this, right? Because see, this is the predicament of the third woe, right? And what that woe is, the destruction of Jerusalem, right? And it reads, and Yahushua went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him for to shew him the buildings of the temple. In other words, they marveled at it. It was a beautiful thing, right? And Yahushua said unto them, see ye not all these things? Verily, you see the same building y'all boasting talking about. Verily, I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. Now I can go into something on this, but I'm not, because it's a story, right? To say, and as he sat upon the mountain of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? Notice now, they notice something is that this particular rulership, this particular world dominance that they was under, which was by the Romans, it had to come to an end at some point. They thought that it was going to happen in that time right there, but it wasn't. That was the inception of the fall, the great scattering, the falling by the sword, and so on and so forth. That was the commencement of that. Let's read on. And Yahweh shall answer and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet, right? It say, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. The true Israelites, those who have awakening and declare to the world, oh no, I'm not African American. I'm an Israelite from tribe of Judah. I'm an Israelite, from the tribe of Gad, from the tribe of Naphtali, Benjamin, Levi. It's awakening. We're gonna wake up, right? And when we do, the world gonna hate us because the world know who we are. We just don't, right? Let's read on. It said, then shall many be offended. Just like today, boy, you could tell somebody you're a Jew, ooh wee, boy, that's gonna offend them. Boy, like these people here in Polk County. Boy, these folks still stirred up way from last week, man. Still commenting on the posts and all this stuff here, man. Boy, they are offended, right? And shall betray one another and shall hate one another. And many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations. And then the end shall come, right? Now keep in mind what Christ saying of all what I've just read, right? Because now let's get into it now and say, that stuff highlighted, I used it for something else. Say, when ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet, stand in the holy place. Whoso read it, let him understand. And the understanding is this, all right. You have this same abomination of desolation that was spoken of by Daniel happened during the times of the Romans too, because we know it happened also during the time when what you call sacrifice to swine on top of the altar, right? So this why Christ say, whoso read it, let him understand, because when this same type of abomination take place in the temple in AD 70, then of course this when all is gonna break loose. And this what happened when the Romans sacked Jerusalem in AD 70, right? That abomination entered the temple and everything else, right? And it said, then let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains, into Africa and other places, like the author had mentioned, right? And this how a lot of them got over there in Spain, or what was called Hispaniola. You know what I'm saying? Let's read on. It say, let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house. Neither let him which is in the field return back to take his clothes. And woe unto them that are with child, and them that give suck in those days. But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time. No, nor ever shall be. And say, and except those days should be shortened, there should be no flesh saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. Say, then if any man shall say unto you, lo, here is Christ, or there, believe it not. For there shall arise false Christ, false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, inasmuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. Behold, I have told you before. Wherefore, if ye shall say unto you, behold, he is in the desert, go not forth. Behold, he is in the secret chambers, believe it not. For as the lightning coming out of the east and shining even unto the west, so shall the also coming of the Son of Man be. Right? For whosoever the carcass is, there will be eagles be gathered together. It say immediately after the tribulation. Now we finna pay attention. I had to give y'all the whole thing, man, so y'all to get the whole picture. I could have easily went to the verse and kind of missed some people, right? I don't want to miss you. I want you to get this. Verse 29. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of heaven shall be shaken. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And he shall send his angel with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together the elect, right? The elect is the Israelites, is Israelites, right? Say from the four winds. In other words, from the four directions, right? Remember, we were scattered all over the earth, right? From one end of heaven to the other. Now learn a parable of the fig tree. Okay, this is it's going into something else. Now let's go to Luke, right? Now let's go to Luke. And we're going to Luke 21, right? And we're going to start at verse 20. Right? It said, when you shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, that means circled, surrounded. Say, then know that the desolation thereof is not the same desolation that was talking about in 24, Matthew 24. Say, then let them which are in Judea flee the mountain, and let them which are in the midst of it depart out, and let not them that are in the countries enter thereinto. For these be the days of vengeance, that all things which were written may be fulfilled. But woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days, for there shall be great distress in the land and wrath upon this people. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. Okay, so it ain't supposed to be no Jews. It ain't supposed to be no Israelites, you know what I'm saying, in Jerusalem. It ain't supposed to be no Israelites, no Jews in Jerusalem at this time until this rulership of the Gentiles is over. So who are the people calling themselves Jews? It's not over. Come on, I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. Let's keep going, right? And saying that shall be signs in the sun. Okay, it's going in the other things as well, right? So now let's go to Revelation. And y'all know we're going to 2 and 9. Now we're going to precept off these, right? Say, I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, right? He's talking about from here to here. He's talking about the real Jews. They in tribulation. They in poverty. Remember, they scattered to the four corners of the earth. And a lot of them done died by the edge of the sword, right? But Yahweh shall say they're rich. Why are they rich? Well, let's click this and see why. So is he that laid up treasures for himself, and is not rich towards God. So in other words, when you do your good deeds here on this planet, you know what I'm saying, or you're of the child of God, your treasure stored up in heaven. That's where you're rich at. And most importantly, first and foremost, because the promises was given to the Israelites. That's the rich, the promise of eternal rulership, immortality, eternal kingdom. That's the richness of what Yahweh Shai is talking about right here. And he said, I know the blasphemy, the lie, right, of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. Let's click this here them and see what's being said. This is a cross reference, right? He said, behold, thou art called a Jew and rested in the law, and makest thy boast of God. Okay, that's a real Jew. But these who say they are Jews, they lying, right? Because he tell you here who the real Jews are. They gonna keep the laws of God, and they gonna boast in it, and so on and so forth. And of course, they in poverty and in tribulation, right? Say, which say they are Jews and are not, right? This is what Yahweh shall say, but are the synagogue of Satan. So let's click this here and see how this is broke down. It goes right to the very next chapter and verse that I was going to take y'all to, right? And it reads, behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews. That's their punishment for lying, saying that they Jews, right? And are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and to worship. Worship also means to serve, to reverence, to glorify before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee. So Christ say he loved the real Jews. Now let me show y'all. We're gonna do some on spot research, right? We're gonna go into this hourglass right here, this little search glass, and we just gonna type in gather. All right. Now look at all these scripts that pulls up, right? But we're not gonna even go in the we're gonna go in what's called the New Testament, right? I don't even use none of the Old Testament scripts, right? All right. The earliest one is Matthew 3 and 12, right? Earliest one is Matthew 3 and 12. Hold on. All right, y'all. All right, y'all. We back. We back. We back. Shalom, shalom. I had to take care of a little something, y'all. So I had to, stop the video. But we back. Nevertheless, we back, and we we as I was saying, these people, claiming to be, the children of God, and they're claiming to be Judah and Levi, but they never mention the other tribes, because let them tell it, they have been gathered. The Most High gathered them and put them back in the land in 1948. This is their claim, right? But we know that these people, don't fit any of the scripture in the sense far as being the rightful inheritors of the land, the Most High chosen people, et cetera, et cetera. They don't fit anything, and we finna go and show that, right? We gonna be going to Deuteronomy, man. We gonna try to see, is there any time when these people, went through the curses of Deuteronomy? Because you can ask any one of them, uh, when did they people go into slavery on slave ships? Because Deuteronomy 28 is talking about the Israelites, talking to the Israelites and what's going to befall them, and so on and so forth, right? So without further ado, let's go get that. I'm going to share my screen. We're going to go get that. All right? We're going to be going to Deuteronomy 28. And we just going to grab some of these curses, man. Not only just in Deuteronomy, but in other places of the Bible too, right? So let me hide this. Let me go open this book up. We're going to be going to Deuteronomy 28. First, we're going to be going to Deuteronomy 1 and 1. All right? So we'll know exactly who's being talked to. All right, this is the book. This is Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel on this side Jordan in the wilderness. They hadn't made it into the promised land yet, right? In the plain over against the Red Sea between Paran, Tophel, Laban, Hazarah, and Dizahab, right? Okay, so I brought this out to show that this particular book, what we call Deuteronomy, is being addressed to the Israelites, right? So now let's go to 28. And we just gonna start at 15, and we just gonna kind of go with some of these curses. And we know that these people don't fit any curses, because the only thing bad, atrocious that can happen to these people is what they call the Holocaust, And my stance on that, you know what I'm saying, is neither here nor there, right? My stance right now is to show how that, according to these people, they don't fit any of the curses that the Most High God say that will be on His people if they didn't keep His laws, commandments, and statutes. So let's read 15. This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Now we gonna get the very first curse, which is 16, verse 16. And it say, curse shalt thou be in the city, and curse shalt thou be in the field. Say, man, these people own the city. I was looking at a video earlier about the work of this Rothschild family. These people, man, it worth over $2 trillion. It ain't but 6 billion people on the planet. These people can give everybody on the planet $1 billion and still be the richest family on earth, the richest people on earth. So how could they be Jews? Because the Most High say that His people in the last day shall be cursed, shall thou be cursed in the city, Salakia. It's just so much information I want to give y'all, just all coming at one time. Verse 16 say, cursed shalt thou be in the city, and cursed shalt thou be in the field. Of course, we know these people ain't working no slave fields. You know what I'm saying? And let's give it the benefit of the doubt. What slave fields Hitler had? Because according to them, he didn't work them. He didn't enslave them. He took them straight to the execution ovens and everything else that he was using to execute them. When did they go in? When did they go in the field? They showed not the last hired and first fire. They showed not at the bottom of the barrel dealing with the employment rates. But the Most High said that His people will be cursed in the city and cursed in the field. Let's move on. The very next verse. Cursed shall be thy basket and thy store. What is that talking about? That's talking about your bank account, your assets, what you own, and stuff like that. And how could something like that be cursed? The only way it can be cursed is that you lose it. You don't have it anymore. Right? It says, cursed shall be thy basket and thy store. Let's move on. Verse 18 say, curse shall be the fruit of thy body. In other words, your offspring, right? And the fruit of thy land, right? In other words, the cattle that you got on your land, the increase of thy kind, right? Let's hit the asterisks and see what a kind is. Oh, let me clear the highlights. All right. Let's see what a kind is. Cattle, like I said, man, we study this thing, man. We don't just talk this thing, right? It say, and the flocks of thy sheep, nowhere you gonna be broke, you ain't gonna own nothing or none of that. You know what I'm saying? This was gonna be the fate of God's people in the last days, right? Let's move on. Verse 19, cursed shalt thou be when thou comest in, and cursed shalt thou be when thou goest out. Man, these people go wherever they want on the planet, and everybody gonna bless them like they the real children of Israel. Because the Most High told Abraham that bless those who gonna bless him and curse those who gonna curse him, right? So these people walk around the planet, you know what I'm saying, with how they said all out immunity, man. They own the planet. They run the planet. They run the planet through their finances, through their wealth, man. Right? All right. So this don't, so far the curses I've read, don't none of them fit them. Let's move on. All right. Let's read this one right here. Verse 27. And it reads, the Lord will smite thee with the botch of Egypt, and with the emeralds, and with the scab, and with the itch. Thou canst not be healed. Okay, now the only people that know about these particular illnesses and stuff like that are the people who were held captive under the Egyptians, as well as the Egyptians themselves, because these are diseases and stuff like that, and ailments and stuff of Egypt. see, of Egypt. Let's see what the botch is. Boils, right? These are things that they call in Egypt. So the Lord say He gonna smite them with the botch of Egypt. First of all, these people ain't never been captive in Egypt. They haven't. They haven't. Go do your research, man. Go do your research. This book right here, it tells all, man. This 13 tribe, it tells all, man. For real. That and other documents as well. Let's move on, man. Let's move on. Let's move on. So in verse 28, this is one of my favorite ones. It say, the Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart. What is that astonishment of heart? Let's see what that is. Confusion. Those people don't seem to be confused. Well, they confused because they think they the Jews, but from a worldly point of view, and these people is not confused about who they are. You know what I'm saying? They're not confused, and they're not in astonishment. You know what I'm saying? That people don't look at them and shake their head and, man, these people just can't get it together. No, they got it together. They own the world. They got all the wealth. But it's a precept in this script. Let's see what it is. Jeremiah 4:9. It shall come to pass that at that day, saith the Lord, that the heart of the king shall perish, and the heart of the princes, them the Israelites, man, and say, and the priests shall be astonished, and the prophets shall wonder. We're gonna be in a deep sleep. We gonna forget who we are. We're gonna forget who we are. Let's go get that. We're gonna come back to Deuteronomy. Where we going? We going to old Jerry. We going to Jeremiah. Old Jeremiah, man. And what's that? 17 and 4? Yeah, and it states right here. It says, and thou, even thyself, shall discontinue. Let's see what that discontinue is. Let go of. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. When have they let go of that? Yeah, they let go of that Khazarian, Ashkenazi, all of the Gentile. They let go of that heritage and identity and stole someone else's. But this verse here, this chapter and verse says that, and thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee. Right? And I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not, for ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever. When have these people served in a land that wasn't theirs? I'm not saying was rounded up, taken to gas chambers and everything else that this man used to execute these people. They didn't go in no bondage. They didn't have to do servitude and slavery and stuff like that. But the Lord said in Jeremiah 17 and 4 that even thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever. When have these people did this, man? When have these people been in a land that wasn't there and served the enemies? They didn't serve Hitler. They begged Hitler not to kill him. But the so-called black man, he served the people, you know what I'm saying, that he was held captive from. Because the Most High say this what his people would do if they disobeyed him. So let's go back to Deuteronomy. That's another one that just blow their little claim out the water. But we're gonna go find some more that we know without a shadow of a doubt. And nor do history, you know what I'm saying, or verify that this happened to these people, right? Come on, the very next verse. I love this one too. And thou shalt grope at noonday, as the blind gropeth in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways, and thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee. Man, don't y'all know when Hitler did these folks like that, and after it was all said and done, every nation on the planet aided and assisted those people. I just read y'all the Balfour Declaration. How this letter was telling everybody to sympathize with these people. But the Most High say right here in 29, they're going to grope at noonday, like the blind groping in darkness. They don't know who they are. They don't know. They ain't gonna know if they coming or going because they lost their identity. They let go of the heritage that the Most High gave them. But these people here, they said they can trace their bloodline all the way back to Moses. That means they never forgot who they was. Because the scriptures say that they was gonna forget. I just read it to y'all. So how are they able to remember their bloodline as far back as Moses? These people lying, man. Christ called them a liar. He said it's blaspheme for anyone to claim to be a Jew and not. He's a liar. Let's read this again. And thou shalt grope at noonday, as the blind gropeth in darkness. And thou shalt not prosper in thy ways, and thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee. Okay, what about this one here? The very next verse. Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. Thou shalt build an house, and thou shalt not dwell therein. Thou shalt plant a vineyard, and shall not gather the grapes thereof. This is servitude. This is slavery, what I just read in verse 30. And we know that when the so-called black man was held in slavery, he didn't have a right to nothing, not even his own wife. If that fleshmonger wanted his wife, he gonna go up in there and get her and do what he gonna do with her and take her back to this boy, and he ain't gonna be able to do nothing about it. And we built up everything up in here, from their houses to the White Houses and any other houses that we didn't live in. They put us in dusty, broke down slave cabins or cabins with no floors. In other words, the cabin was built up, there wasn't no floor, so you laying on the ground, right? And of course, we know we planted those fields, man. We tilled that ground for 300 years. And wasn't none of that stuff for us. It was for somebody else. When did this happen to these people, man? It never happened to them because they're not the Israelites. Let's read on. I'm not gonna go through each and every one of these. I'm just gonna get the main ones that the Most High say was that happened to the Israelites, that happened to the so-called black man. And we finna see who fit the curse, because the curse is gonna identify. They're assigned to let the world know who the Israelites are, who God chose people. They're gonna have curses on them, right? Let's read on. Let's drop down to 32. And it reads, thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people. When did that happen to them? Man, I wait, man. They say, and thine eyes shall look and fare with longing for them all the day long. Salaki. But there shall be no might in thine hand. When that happened to them? When their women had babies, somebody came, snatched them up, and sent them off somewhere else? When did that happen to them? Because this happened to the real Jews, the real Israelites. This happened to the so-called black man. And if you want us, go pull up a slave movement. They make one every year, every 6 months. Go pull up a slave movement. They're going to tell you what they did. And when you look at that slave movement, go back and read this Deuteronomy 28 and watch you see that this don't fit nobody but the so-called black man here in North America. Who are those people, man? Come on, let's keep going. It's more. It's more, right? Read this again. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long. And there shall be no might in thine hand. We ain't had no military to, you know what I'm saying, to go get our children back, and all, you know, no type of power, no politically, military-wise, economically. We didn't have no power, no might. They snatched them up. They were just snatched up. Let's read on. Verse 33 is another one. And the fruit of thy land and all thy labors, which thou knowest not, eat up. And thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed always. The so-called Jews were killed in the Holocaust. They wasn't enslaved by Hitler, right? And not only that, they knew who Hitler was. They knew who the Germans were. We didn't know who these people were when they came and got us. So who are the Jews? Who do the curses fit? Sure ain't fitting them little hat boys so far. Come on. This ain't what I'm saying. It's what the script is saying. All right. Okay. Let's do 36. 36 said, "And the Lord shall bring thee and thy king, which thou shalt set over thee, unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known. And there shalt thou serve other gods, wood and stone." These people here is saying that their God is the God of heaven and earth, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? And all the stuff that they went through as a people, they never deviated from serving who they claim to be the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. But the so-called black man, the so-called African American, the gods that they worship when they came here, they don't worship no more. They worship Christianity and now Islam and all this other stuff that they knew nothing about, that the ancient Israelites knew nothing about. Right? So who are these people, man? Come on, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. All right, verse 37. "And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whether the Lord shall lead thee." These people ain't been scattered all over the world. These people don't have a name that every a derogatory name that every name, maybe now, but in their heyday, when they were standing strong in their lives, being the chosen people, they didn't have a derogatory name that all nations called them. And then not only that, they're according to them, and according to this book here, the 13 tribe, they only went from the Isles of the Gentiles to Poland and what they call in Jerusalem. They were other places they were scattered at. No, they was only scattered to a few places, and they wasn't scattered through slavery. They were scattered through migration. You know what I'm saying, and stuff like that, displacement from losing wars and stuff. These people has never been in slavery. Let's keep reading. Let's keep reading. See, all these 37, 38, 39, all this is dealing with economics pretty much. From 38, from 37, from 38 to 40 is dealing with your pockets, man. And these are the richest people on the planet. You know what I'm saying? These are the richest people on the planet, man. So they're not impoverished like Habakkuk said in Revelation chapter 2 and verse 9. Okay. Verse 41. Say, "Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity." When did that happen to the people who are calling themselves Jewish today? When did their sons go into captivity? Never. They are not the Jews. They are not the Israelites, right? Oh, and this one right here is really going to unload on them. This 43. Say, "The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low." Since 1948, when have that been? Because remember, these curses going to be on the Israelites until they repent, come back to the law, commandments, statutes of the Most High, and they're going to be scattered still in all nations until Christ's return. That's prophecy. That's Bible. And we're going to get into that. So, say, "The stranger that is within thee," in other words, living amongst you in your neighborhood, right, "shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low." When have this happened to them? Go to Crown Heights in New York. They running that thing. You know what I'm saying? Go over there in Israel and in other place where they got a power base at. They running it. And the people that's among them, that's within them, they are very low. So how do this here fit them? Because these are curses that will come to pass when the Israelites disobey the commandments and statutes of the Most High. And like Hamashiach was saying in Luke chapter 21, these be the days, you know what I'm saying, of vengeance that was written. And here it is right here. The thing that he talked about that was going to happen to the Israelites, it commenced in AD 70, man, in Jerusalem. Here they are right here, these curses. Then you can go in Leviticus 26, find other curses. It's all over. All right, let's move on. Verse 44. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. Come on, y'all. Who lending to the who lending anything to the little hat boys? The people calling themselves Jewish. Who lending to them? They control all the money, man. They control all the money. Right? Now, verse 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee and shall pursue thee and overtake thee till thou be destroyed. When had this happened to these people? I ask the question again. Because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. And they shall be upon thee for a sign. What is a sign? It's an indicating mark. Let you know what something is or where something at or where to how it gets a sign. It's an identifying marker. It identifies something. That's what a sign does. And it's saying they shall be on thee. What day? The curses shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder. The wonder is these are the Israelites, God's chosen people. On thy seed forever. Not to Christ, not to the New Testament time, and then it's on everybody. No, it's on thy seed. In other words, the Israelites forever. That's the one. It's for the Israelites. What curses has been on them at the center? The Holocaust? Come on, man. Get out of here with that. And guess why? Say, because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things. Let them tell they trace back all the way to Moses, and they've been following, you know what I'm saying, Moses and the Talmud and all these orators and stuff like that, and you know, oral law, written law. They never discontinued. They never discontinued. They never lost their identity. According to them, they the Jews. So far, ain't nothing fitting these folks, man. Let's move down. Therefore, shalt thou serve thine enemies. This is verse 48, which the Lord shall send against thee, right? In hunger, in thirst, in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck. Now, we all know, man. I mean, matter of fact, I'm going to do this for y'all. I'm going to do this for y'all, man. Watch this. I'm going to do this for y'all. I'm going to type up yoke of iron. Watch who come up. Watch you come up, y'all. I wasn't expecting that to come up, but I was looking for some images. Watch this. Why come when you type in this image, African Americans, so-called African Americans pop up and all the different slave devices that they use to torture? See, all these are different forms of yoke, right? Look at that. Why come when you type in yoke of iron, you don't see no little hat bars with these things around their neck? Why? Look, y'all. So-called black people. So-called black people. Black people. Let's see what more they got. Look. Y'all ain't never had these things, man. Oh, that's the name of they little they little group. Okay, look. Where the little head boys at? Since they the Jews, the Israelites and had yokes of iron on their neck. Where they at? A draw that ain't gonna cut it, partner. Come on. Look, no little head boy. Nothing. Nothing. Number so-called black people wear these things. Because the book say that he will put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. And y'all know, man, anybody that heard me street teach you, y'all know I always use the analogy of the pit bull chain, man. You know, you got this dog, man, you trying to teach him something, you trying to teach him obedience, stuff like that. You put him on that leash and he yanking and he jacking on that boy, he trying to bite it loose and everything else. And finally he realized he can't get up off that leash. He gonna stop. He gonna stop resisting, right? And you can take the leash off. You can take the leash off, and guess what? He ain't gonna go nowhere. You done broke him. You done destroyed him. That's the same thing they did with the Israelites. God showed the people. But I don't know nowhere in history, you know what I'm saying, where that happened to them, right? Come on, let's read on. Verse 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou should not understand. They understood German. Uh-oh, golly. They understood German. And any other Germanic language dialect they had going over there. Yeah. So far, these folks ain't fit nothing. They not fitting anything. I could have went through them, you know, step by step. Now let's go and get down to this man. As a matter of fact, I got one more I want to give him because this one here also identifies. This verse 54 say, so the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall lead. Now, man, somebody, please tell me where I can see, witness, or whatever the little hat boys mean mugging each other, hating on each other, pulling each other down, killing each other, leaving their women, you know what I'm saying, their children and all that. I want to show me in history where these people did this thing, where this stuff here was prevalent amongst these. Because this right here is, man, it's so prevalent amongst, you know, so-called black man. It don't make no sense. When you say single parent or household, first thing come to mind is so-called black man. When little hat boy lead their kids and practice little hat boy on little hat boy or crime. when have they practice little hat boy on little hat boy crime, man? But the Bible says this is what the Israelites was gonna do. They were gonna hate each other. I know it. Even the women, verse 56. The tender and delicate woman among you, which will not adventure to set her sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness. Her eye shall be evil towards her husband and her bosom, and towards her son and towards her daughter. Where the baby mama drama thing come from? Of course, we know it comes from the so-called people. This. When you look in the dictionary, baby mama drama, you're gonna see a black woman. You look in the dictionary, see baby daddy drama, you're gonna see a black man. This stuff is associated with us, the so-called blacks. The Most High say this will be on his people and nobody else, right? So you can't do nothing but reason that they gotta be the Israelites, right? Let's get to the main one, man. Verse 68, the classic. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. Now check this out. We can go from Genesis to Revelation looking for, you know, the Israelites going back into, you know what I'm saying, on slave ships and made slaves. You don't find it. But you do find in the annals of history, you find a prediction, the prophecy of this in the Bible, like what I'm going to read to y'all now. But you can't find nowhere in the Bible where the Israelites went back into Egypt as a whole entire nation. All 12 tribes went back into Egypt on slave ship. For one, they didn't need no ship to get to Egypt, man, where they was going. You don't need no ship to get to Egypt, even going back, going from Israel to Egypt, to Jerusalem. You don't need a ship. Hamashiach walked there, Abraham walked there, everybody walked to Egypt where they was from. So you don't need a ship. It's a 4 days journey walking. You can walk there in 4 days from Jerusalem to Israel. To Egypt. It's a lot. So let's read this here. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. In other words, wherever they was taken to, they wasn't going to see the land that they was taken from no more again until Christ returned. Because remember, they're going to be gathered and taken back to their land. They still scattered. But these people say they was gathered. The Israelites was gathered in 1948 and put back into the land. Let's read on. It say, thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and no man shall buy you. So as we can see, man, these people don't fit none of the curses. And then not only that, the Israelites are not going to be back into Jerusalem until all has been rounded up. And we finna go get some of this stuff. I got a whole list of them right here. Right? In 49, Isaiah chapter 49, verse 6. And he said, it is a light thing that thou shouldest be my servant to raise up the tribes, all 12 of them, of Jacob, and to restore the preserved of Israel. I will also give thee for a light to the Gentiles, that thou mayest be my salvation unto the end of the earth. Man, this ain't happened yet. And what Gentiles are the little head boys being? What Gentiles serving them? Yeah, let them tell you, they've been rounded up, gathered up, and placed back into the land, and they are light to the Gentile. Yeah, I know it, man. We just don't do these randomly because we about to wrap this up, right? Romans chapter 11, verse 26. And so all Israel shall be saved, as it is written, not just Judah and Levi or Benjamin, but all Israel, the whole 12 tribes, right? There shall come out of Zion the deliverer, and shall turn away ungodliness from Jacob, which is Israel, the 12 tribes, right? And of course, we know we got this classic, Isaiah 45 and 17. But Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded. The world will be, and we're going to rule forever. When the Israelites get back into the land and so on and so forth, they're going to rule forever. This is the promise. What's going on over there right now? These people at war, at genocide. They literally, but that's supposed to happen. That's another story. We'll get in there. Go look at some of my videos where I'm talking about, Russia turning on Israel and all of the north and stuff coming together. It's all happening right before our eyes, man. Let's go to Psalms 73, verse 9 through 12. They set their mouth against the heaven, and their tongue walketh through the earth. Therefore his people return hither, and waters of a full cup are wrung out to them. And they say, how do God know? And is there knowledge in the Most High? Behold, these are the ungodly who prosper in the world. They increase in riches. Talking about the fake Jews, right? Okay, 73, 5 through 8. I was supposed to read that going the other way, but it's all the same. They say they are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. Therefore, pride compasseth them about as a chain. It says, violence covereth them as a garment. Their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than heart could wish. They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak lawfully. These people, now these here fitting them. Check it out. Isaiah 40 and 15. Oh, no, that's going into something else. That's going into something else, Salakia. I got some precepts for y'all. I got some precepts. Let me make this full screen. Okay. All right. I got some precepts for y'all. We're in Jeremiah chapter 31. It says, "Hear the word of the Lord, O ye nations," right? And that will be Gentile in Hebrew or Goyim, right? It's saying declare it in the isles. In other words, the isles of the Gentile, the coastland. That's where they were sent. You read Genesis 10, right? Afar off and say, he that scattered Israel will gather him, right? And keep him as a shepherd do his flock, right? Let's see what this is right here. Luca. He shall feed his flock like a shepherd. He shall gather the lambs with his arms and carry them in his bosom and shall gently lead those that are with young. Ezekiel 34:12. As a shepherd seeketh out his flock in the day that he is among his sheep that are scattered, so will I seek out my sheep and will deliver them out of all places scattered in and dark day, right? Now he's talking about all the tribes, not just Benjamin and Levi and Judah. You know what I'm saying? He's talking about all the tribes. Now let's see from who. Isaiah 49:24. Shall the prey be taken from the mighty or the lawful captive delivered? Yeah, we're going to be delivered, right? Let's move on. It says, therefore they shall come and sing in the height of Zion, and shall flow together to the goodness of the Lord, for wheat and for wine, and for oil, and for young of the flock and of the herd. And their souls shall be as a watered garden, and they shall not sorrow any more at all. Them people are over there in sorrow. They are actually going through war over there. How are they the Israelites? And how have been gathered as a nation and put back in the land? Because it says once the Israelites are gathered, and put back in the land and restored and all that there, it's going to be peace on earth. It's going to be peace on earth, right? Come on, let's go get some more, man. There's still some more of this thing. We got some more of this thing. Yeah. I gave y'all all these, right? Now we didn't exhaust them. My bad, Salakia. Salakia. We didn't exhaust them, right? So as we can see, we can stop sharing now. We can stop sharing. So as we can see, these people they face none of the curses, none whatsoever. And so, all you people, specifically you people that's scoffing, these people here in Polk County, you know what I'm saying? They little old Polk County talk, that's the name of their group. Say, if y'all open mind and really want to know who the true Jews are, watch this video or just go do your own research, man. I advise you to. Don't take what I'm saying. Just go and research for yourself. And you're going to see, and I advise you to start with this book right here. Start with this book right here. And you're going to see that those people over there are not who they say they are. Y'all been blessing the wrong people. Y'all got to bless the so-called Black, Latino, Native American, Hill, Negro descent, the original Hebrew Israelite in the Western Hemisphere. And with that being said, people, I'm going to say shalom, shalom. Please don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, share the video so more people can get edified. And we can stop falling for this stuff, man, that the devil, which have deceived the whole world, is doing. And we know he's trying to hide the true people of the book, but it's too late. The jig is up, the cat out the bag. We're in the end days. It's over. You know what I'm saying? And the Israelites finna rule again, right? So prepare yourself. Repent, people. Repent. Because the time of refreshing is at hand. I should give y'all that last. As a matter of fact, I'm going to give y'all that last script. We go get that. We're going to be going to Matthew, y'all. I get y'all a couple of. We gotta repent. We gotta repent, man. What was that? 4:17. And it said, from that time, Yahweh began to preach and to say, repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. It's a precept. Matthew 3:2, and saying, repent ye, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Matthew 10:7, as ye go, preach, saying, the kingdom of heaven is at hand. So y'all, my message to y'all, man, is to repent. Israelites and Gentiles alike, repent, because we have no more time. The grace period is almost over. And with that being said, I'm going to say shalom.